What is clangin', everybody? Welcome back. It is a crisp 5:36 in the AM. Got myself the remnants of a latte. I did not sleep last night. I was up crafting some talking points for this video. So we're gonna get right to that. It's just gonna be a little update. You guys saw the title. But, anyways, it's been a while since I uploaded my deconstruction video. A lot has changed since then. So, I'm going to go over a few topics, some new opinions that I hold, some things that I'm, a little bit more confident in now, and some things that I'm still struggling with. So, should be a good video. To make it easier, timestamps are going to be in the description if you want to go check those out, or you could just watch the whole video, whichever. Alright, so first topic, I'm calling this section Preserving Skepticism. So I just want to preface the whole video stating that I'm still entirely skeptical about everything. Pretty much, I openly admit that everything I think I know now could just end up being entirely wrong, right? I'm leaving myself open to that opportunity no matter what. It allows me to really think about like counter arguments, stuff like that, without just dismissing them. And I think it sort of helps you from being ignorant to a certain extent, at least. But yeah, I don't want to get stuck thinking that all of my opinions are correct just because they're present at this time, Now, second part, I think I said in my deconstruction video that I'm an agnostic and not an atheist because atheists claim to know there's no God or something like that. But I just wanted to correct that because I, looking back, just did not understand what atheism is. So atheism is this lack of belief or an absence of belief in God, and agnosticism is the position that the existence of God is unknown, right? So big difference, right? But the sort of idea of classical atheism is a lot closer to agnosticism than it is to new atheism, which does have more of a strong claim that there's no God. But yeah, anyway, I feel like I fit in with both pretty easily. So I'd be fine being called an atheist or an agnostic, as long as that one gripe is clarified. I haven't eaten anything this morning, and this latte has already given me a stomach ache. So obviously, because I don't believe in any sort of higher power or anything like that, I have found it hard since deconstructing to really ground morality and truth and objective meaning and all of that stuff. And it was a hard place to be for a while. But ultimately, I feel like once you stop thinking that these things have to be objective, it gets a lot easier to handle other ideas. For example, I hold to some sort of subjective morality claims. Same with meaning. I don't think there's really any ultimate meaning. But on the other hand, I do still believe in some sort of ultimate truth. That could probably be a whole separate video. But as I mentioned, I don't believe in any ultimate meaning. So definitionally, let me look that up. Is that a word? Yeah, it is. So definitionally, that would make me a nihilist, right? Which I am. I'm a nihilist, but not the typical depressing, all hope is lost type of nihilist, right? So I'm what would be known as an optimistic nihilist, or as Wendy Seifert put it, a sunny nihilist, which I really like the name of. Hopefully I pronounced her name right. Her last name, I'm fairly confident. I got the first one down. But anyway, sunny nihilism sort of embraces the fact that there is no meaning to life, no ultimate so sunny nihilism pretty much embraces the fact that there's no ultimate meaning to life, you sort of like find freedom in it, right? It's a beautiful thing that you can just create and have your own meaning. You know, it doesn't have to be like this ultimate thing that you have to live by. You aren't bound to any like higher order. You can just like be you and have your own meaning, independent from everybody else. But the whole concept of optimistic nihilism is something that had been on my mind for a few months before I ever realized there was a name for it. But, you know, since learning more, it's really caught my eye. Miss Seifert, she has a book on sunny nihilism. I have not read it, but I would really love to. So if I do, maybe I'll make a review or something like that. But, yeah, sunny nihilism has really given me like a new outlook on life, and I'm really grateful for that. Moving on to ethics and morality. As I mentioned, I do hold to some sort of subjective morality and a little bit of like ethical emotivism. So I think that moral statements like murder is bad or like lying is bad is really just like a person expressing their distaste in murder or lying, right? As opposed to it being some sort of like testable like truth claim that can be like figured out and tested, right? But at the same time, I think that morality is subjective, but it's subjective upon a goal that you have for it, right? So like if you set your goal on avoiding harm or like maximizing well-being or something, you can still make objective claims that like you can still have objective morality within that subjective goal, right? So it's sort of a mix of those two. The people's emotions that are tied to those morals are ultimately based on something that's subjective. So you can still make a objective claim like murder is bad, but it's just your emotional distaste for that, right? And it's based upon something that's ultimately subjective. And I guess while I'm on the subject of morality, I'm also vegan now. So I've been vegetarian since February, and just like the last month, probably 2 at this point, I've switched over to being vegan. So, you know, the way I view other like non-human animals has really changed since I stopped viewing it from like a privileged, like humans are superior to all else type of lens. That could, I'm sure, also be a whole video by itself. But anyway, I do really hope that with all this, I'm at least getting somewhat closer to whatever truth might be out there. You know, I guess I'll know sooner or later. Oh, sooner or later. That's a new one. Sooner or later. Wow. But I suppose I will either know sooner or later, or I will have, you know, wasted my life reading and learning and socializing with all sorts of people. I mean, if I get to the end of my life and die without finding some sort of like ultimate truth about the universe, I highly doubt that I would find it all wasted, you know? Like, day by day, I'm just increasingly grateful to wake up and learn and to experience life for whatever reason that is. You know, it's awesome. I stopped short of calling it a blessing, but it's great. Please, if there is any subject that you want me to talk about in one of these videos, or something you want me to like go over further, or a question you want to ask me, or like if you disagree with me, if you want to challenge one of my opinions, please leave that in the comments. You can also contact me on Instagram. I'm going to have that linked in the description, but that would be amazing to have some like discourse going on with that. Now, with all that being said, I think I am pretty much done with what I wanted to talk about today. So thank you all for watching. Keep clanging. I will see you guys in the next one.